Good afternoon. The Biden administration has an ambitious plan to build a made in America supply chain for the most important minerals and processes that are necessary to get us through this century. Rare earth metals, along with the other elements required to make electricity and semiconductors. China owns almost all those supply chains, all the way up to the mines, down through the refineries of the ores and the logistics networks. In the United States, we're passing laws and handing out lots of subsidies for companies that can get us out of these problems and bring those supply chains either back to the United States or at least to friendly countries. But it's not going to happen quickly, if at all. And Barron's walks us through how some of this is playing out in just one sector, which is graphite. Graphite is used as a key component in electric car batteries, solar panels, nuclear energy, and lots of other things too. China is the world's dominant producer of graphite, and the United States is the world's largest importer. China produces 77% of the world's graphite, and the United States and our allies total just 2% of world production. There's only one supplier, in fact, that produces graphite that is completely outside of China's supply chains, which is this Australian company, Sierra Resources. And their graphite ores come from their mine in Mozambique. So the objective of the White House is to de-risk supplies from China, but in this case, we're just moving it to Africa instead. There was a regional war that's being waged all around that mine, and also a civil war. And it's hard to know exactly who is fighting who. I tried and I couldn't figure it out. This is all leading to logistics problems in and out of the mine, and occasionally the mine shuts down and the workers are evacuated. This is an example of the challenges that we face when we wall off the United States to imports from China and we need to find them somewhere else. We're going to parts of the world which pose a lot of problems of their own. One option is to use synthetic graphite, but China has a monopoly on the production of synthetic graphite too. The other problem we've got lately is that China enacted export bans on the graphite anyway. This paragraph has a timeline of how this has come about. The US put on export controls and curbs for semiconductors, working with Japan and the Netherlands. China responded by restricting gallium exports and germanium. That was last October. China's got near monopolies on the production of those rare earths. Then China announced very tight controls on their exports of graphite. I'm going to push back on this a bit. China was unlikely to ban the exports of gallium, germanium, and graphite solely because of what we did in semiconductors. We think this analysis here by Barron's is incomplete. China hoped to be building electric vehicles in the United States with Chinese companies or in partnership with American ones. And when we told them there would be no Chinese EVs built in the US, China's response seemed to be that nobody else would be building them either, using their graphite or their metals at least. But we're here now, and irrespective of how we got here, whether by weaponizing semiconductors or by weaponizing automobile manufacturing, now it's hitting clean energy, including nuclear. These are objective realities, that China's got the supply chains and nobody can do anything about that anytime soon. And our factories don't have any place to buy the stuff they need. So the White House relaxed the rules a little and declared that the batteries made with Chinese graphite would be eligible for tax credits and that our car makers would be allowed to import from China after all. But the Chinese probably don't want to export the graphite now. The Chinese position hasn't changed just because ours has. China doesn't want to sell graphite. They want to sell batteries. Or more to the point, they want to build and sell electric cars and electric batteries. And it's not China's problem that we have built factories that make electric cars without first figuring out where the graphite's going to come from. This is a Chinese rare earth mine, Baotou, Inner Mongolia. Be good.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall